Hey everybody, happy Monday. Thanks for joining us here on Northern Life. The chaos kind of wrapping up here now on Monday. People leaving town, and it was a great weekend overall though. Sounds like it was pretty much a lot of fun, right?
It was a good weekend.
Yeah, always fun, Grandma's Marathon weekend.
Yeah.
I've already got it circled on my calendar for next year.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't wait. I just love it.
Are you doing the full next year?
Ask me in a few weeks, Hunter.
A full 5K.
Yeah.
Full 5K,
Well, we
there we
done
go.
last week, yeah.
That's all my legs are ready for. You may be wondering what the week ahead looks for you, but what will life look like in 2065? There are some of the bold predictions from 2000's Americans, which examined what might be to come in the next 40 years. Participants think our society will be run by 100% digital currency, biometric payment methods. Huh?
What?
What is a biometric?
I think with your eyes. You
Oh,
scan your eyes.
That's
I
kind
don't
of
know
neat.
if I like
Fingerprints, yeah.
Take my
Okay.
money. Households run by smart AI technology in the home, and then having a robot roommate or housekeeper. Why a robot roommate?
I don't know. Imagine
To
going
pay
to your
rent?
Right, I guess.
help you with rent.
Hey.
Going to work, yeah.
You're $300 behind on rent. You're gonna have to pay up.
I think a lot of this has already happened, like the robot housekeeper. You
Digital
got the Roomba.
currency?
Yeah,
Digital
true.
currency's already happened.
Yeah,
so
Bitcoin.
Not,
Yeah.
not too absurd to assume that that's going to be happening.
Right.
in
Right, and
2065.
thank gosh for some of the digital currency things. Well, I mean, for my phone, I have that Apple Pay thing, and I forget my wallet all the time, and so I'll end up in a situation where I've maybe like already ordered for something, and then I'm like, oh, I don't have any money.
Oh no!
I know, it's so bad.
Yes.
But now the Apple Pay, I just like take my money on my phone.
It's not real money.
No.
You know, I watched a
Yeah,
conversation
seriously.
the other day talking about how Gen Z doesn't necessarily see cash as real money because they've now grown up in a world where money is strictly, numbers usually on your bank account
That's
online.
so
Yeah.
weird. Oh my gosh. Cash is still king in my life. I got lots of cash in the old
Our-
the band and everything like that.
Our
yeah.
director, Shania, says if you pay with cash, it's free.
Yeah, exactly.
There's some good math for you.
Exactly, yes.
Well, here's what's coming up on today's show. We're going to take you out to D.C., where a bugle player from Wisconsin is living out his dreams, now inspiring other students to reach for the stars as well. Very cool.
Super cool. And later, I'll get the chance to sit down with Stephanie Wedland with Stephanie Wedland Creative. She's going to be talking to us about new storefront art that's being installed in downtown Duluth, thanks to her. Also, for business owners out there, she's going to share how to make your shop pop and
Whoa.
bring more customers in.
Stop and shop.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, let's get to some entertainment news. Down in Texas, some drivers are quite upset at country star Shabuzi after he shut down a bridge
You're
during.
not familiar?
No, I'm not familiar with Shabuzi.
He's got some good songs. He did shut down a bridge during rush hour traffic in order to shoot a music video with a well-known Dallas rapper.
Jeez.
Spectacle turned the other lane of the bridge into a parking lot, and the line of cars there stretched for miles. Now, that shoot was authorized by the city's Office of Special Events. However, some drivers now want to figure out why it was allowed to happen during rush hour traffic.
I bet it had a lot to do with the position of the sun.
Oh, yeah.
during
Makes
that time of
sense.
day when people were probably on their way home from work.
Yeah.
The lighting's pretty good at that time. It's why photographers schedule a lot of shoots in the evening, especially this time of year.
Good insight.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be, but maybe not the smartest of ideas still. But I bet a lot of people will see that video and maybe the bridge kind of being iconic. And people will be like, I gotta go check out the bridge. You
There
gotta
we
go
go.
check out Dallas.
They'll see themselves in traffic. And
Yeah.
go,
Yes.
That's me.
That's me right there. I've driven in Dallas before, and
really?
those drivers are fast drivers. They're going 10, 15 over the
So-
speed limit. They were probably not a fan of that at all. That's horrible.
A lot of honking interrupting that
Yes.
shoot, probably. Well, how about this? A new biopic about the boss is coming to the big screen. Here's a sneak peek at the future movie featuring the life of Bruce Springsteen. Jeremy Allen White, well known for his acting in the hit show The Bear, seen singing there as Bruce Springsteen in the new trailer for Deliver Me From Nowhere. Impressively, as you saw there, White does his own singing throughout the film. That movie's set to hit theaters this fall.
He's talented.
Yeah,
that
man.
Jeremy Allen. Is it Jeremy Allen White? Is that his name? Yeah.
What else
he's
is he
such
in?
a good actor.
I've never seen
He's
him
in The
before.
Bear.
Is he? Okay.
It's the big
Yeah.
hit show on, is that Hulu? Yeah.
He's also
Sure.
in Shameless.
Right.
Yeah,
right,
that
right,
series
right.
set in
Okay.
Chicago. He kind of plays the same sort of character in both of those shows. So it'll be interesting to see him kind of delve out from that and
Right.
explore a different role a little bit. Kind of cool.
He's got a very, much like Bob Dylan, a very unique voice, Bruce Springsteen. So he sounded a lot like him. If
Yeah.
that was his real singing there, I think that's going to be a really good movie there. So.
Growing up listening to Bruce Springsteen, thanks to my dad's CDs, it's gonna be cool to see that movie.
Yeah, oh yeah, love Bruce. From one Bruce to another, though, Bruce the Bat Dog has been called up from AAA Rochester Red Wings to make his major league debut in a pre-game bat retrieval ceremony at Nationals Park. At 21 months old, Bruce is working his tail off for the opportunity to be a part of the big league. Bruce isn't just another pretty face, however, as this loving dog helps raise money for Rochester's Veterans Outreach Center. So that's fantastic as well. I think a documentary should be made on this Bruce, too. That's a good-looking Bruce right there.
Yeah,
Make him sing.
sure, how cute
sing.
would that be? I'd like to see the line of golden retrievers auditioning to be
Aw.
Bruce.
Air Bud.
Yeah, they
Could
can't
be the
just
next
get
Air
be
Bud.
real
There we
Bruce.
go,
Got
yeah.
to stand in for some of his tricks and
Yeah.
stunts. On social media, there's been a prank out there for a while where a group of wives trick their husbands into wearing the exact same shirt to an event. Usually it's just a couple of friends, but in North Texas, one mother organized the same thing involving 200 dads at her parish on Father's Day. As you can see, the plan worked perfectly, and they all showed up in the same bright blue attire. The reel has now been viewed millions of times across the world. I could see how you could get that arranged within your family, but it blows my mind that she got it for her church. Like, each wife
Yeah.
went out and bought the shirt and was like,
Yes.
here, honey, wear this to church. It's such a good shirt. And then they all show up.
Thankfully, they're not at Disney World or something. They'd be like, which one's my husband?
Yeah, exactly. Who am I going home with?
Still to come, an ancient crop shows promise as a sustainable jet fuel alternative.
Welcome back. I think we can all agree that it's always very cool to see people achieving their dreams out there. That's exactly the case for a Wisconsin musician who's now living out his dream in the nation's capital. Molly Martinez has the story.
Arlington National Cemetery, known for its somber silence, hits a different note at a wreath-laying ceremony. Behind the bugle is Noah Menenga. He first came to these hallowed grounds on a 7th grade trip, listening to the musicians of the armed forces, a chord struck.
Where you maybe do something and you like it, but then you start getting better, so then you enjoy it more, and then you start getting better, so you enjoy it more, and it just kind of feeds itself.
Tuesday, he's inspiring the next generation following their callings. It's a point of pride for his former teacher, Kevin Mickelbank.
When you see the success for something like that, it's a goosebump on your arms that you can't control moment. Humbling,
For Mickelbank and Menenga, it's a full circle moment.
really inspiring to see one of the former kids chase their dreams that they discovered around 7th grade in band class.
With an unknown future, it's important to find your own melody.
Funding for these trips was recently pulled by the district, so they had to get creative with how they were going to pay to get all these students to Washington, D.C., but organizers say that they did it the old-fashioned way. Car washes, fundraisers, all sorts of creative ways to pool these funds. They say every kid that wanted to go on this trip was able to, even if it was on a scholarship. In Washington, D.C., I'm Molly Martinez.
Very cool to see him achieve his dreams. I think it's kind of hard to play the bugle because there's
bet.
not like actual buttons that you press. It's all has to do with your lips and how you're pressing them together. So very cool. They're just able to achieve his dream.
Yeah, I think back to my lesson playing the, what was that?
Oh,
The
band.
banjo.
The banjo,
And the-
yeah.
and the fiddle,
Yeah,
yes.
you got the fiddle.
Yep.
And I had such a hard time on the banjo, let alone the bugle. Just
Oh,
no
that's
buttons.
tough.
If you never made it to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, I think I was there as a teen, but going back in as an adult would be super cool because it's very special ceremony there. Well, I came across this next person online. An amateur toy photographer is seeing his own action figures through a different lens. David Valdez lets his imagination run wild with meticulous attention to detail and piece by piece setting the stage to bring his favorite action figures to life, including the aerial lift bridge as a
boy.
backdrop here in Duluth. Valdez says it's a way to play with his toys and actually have it become a little more socially acceptable that he still has, action figures.
That's
Quite
so
the news
cool.
day if we saw that happening here at the Live Fest.
Oh no, Hunter, get out there for a live shot. Godzilla's taking over the bridge.
We'd get a lot of more ratings probably at the 4 if that were to happen.
Yeah, right? Oh my gosh.
I see now how he does it. Okay, so he like stages
Yep.
his little guy up in front and then takes the picture creatively. I
Yep,
see.
right.
So he actually has the figure, the actual action figure.
He usually, it looks like he puts the figure in front and then takes a photo of the bridge, puts the figure in front, and then in post has to take the parts of the bridge carefully and put it back to the front.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's
Crazy.
a tough sequence.
That's so
kidding.
cool.
Yeah.
Good for
Very
him.
neat.
Let's talk about travel here. When you take a commercial flight, there is an environmental cost, of course, and now scientists are trying to grow a solution that could also be big business for Minnesota farmers.
Yeah, Aaron Hassanzadeh explains how a tiny seed could solve a big problem.
And this one's still kind of in the middle of flowering.
Here at the U of M research fields, the sun shines on a solution in bloom.
Yeah, this is an ancient crop.
It's called camelina.
It's similar to canola, so it produces oil, but unlike canola, it survives a Minnesota winter.
The seeds can be refined into cooking oil and further refined into sustainable aviation fuel.
There have been flights using camelina fuel, sole camelina fuel.
Researcher Matthew Ott is part of the team perfecting the crop for prime time, something to stand up to Minnesota winters that farmers will flock to.
Powerful little plant.
Yeah, and economic too.
They're tiny seeds, but they could have a huge impact. The U.S. Department of Energy says sustainable aviation fuel could cut emissions by up to 94%.
And airlines want to cut emissions. Globally, flying accounts for nearly 3% of our air emissions, but the industry wants to get to net zero carbon emissions by 2050, with airlines like Delta aiming to use 10% sustainable fuel by 2030.
This could be a major industry for Minnesota.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We're kind of the leader on developing it as a winter crop.
Farmers across the state are piloting the product right now. Some tell us they use it as a cover crop and love that they can grow a second crop on the same land during the same season.
The camelina pods can be harvested over the top of the soybean seedlings.
Ott says it also helps prevent runoff of farming fertilizers, improving our water quality.
Yeah, there's a bee right there.
And the early bloomers provide nourishment for critical pollinators.
Yeah, it grows fast.
And many are hoping the industry will too.
We're early in the process, but we're scaling up.
In Falcon Heights with photojournalist Joe Mears, Aaron Hassanzadeh, WCCO News.
Love to see the ingenuity. A lot of
Yeah.
work going into that. Very cool.
I want to know how those things get started. I mean,
Right.
you just go, yeah, actually this crop is going to be the perfect crop to become an alternative for jet fuel.
It takes, a very smart person or like a very creative person to think that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, hey, coming up after the break, I get to sit down with someone who's making storefronts shine a little brighter here in downtown Duluth. Welcome back, everybody. Today on the show, we're with someone who helps businesses look as good as they feel. Stephanie Wedland is the creative force behind Stephanie Wedland Creative, based here in Duluth. She joins us here in studio. Stephanie, thank you so much for joining us. For the folks out there who might not know what you do, what is your company all about?
My company is Stephanie Wedland Creative, and I help businesses increase sales and stand out. So whether that's visual merchandising, which encompasses a lot from signing to lighting to displays, or window displays, that's where I really focus my time to help businesses get noticed.
And how did that idea start for the business? So you said you were a former basketball coach and you had this passion and you work in graphic design. How did you get to where you are today?
Well, I had a long employment with Maurice's at the corporate office, and so I learned a lot about window displays and propping and visual merchandising. I had great mentors there, and I'm very lucky to start out on my own and create this new business.
And the work you're doing right now, as you can tell from the video here, you've had the opportunity to put up this amazing storefront at Bell Bank in downtown Duluth. What was that process like?
It was a great process. So they were the runners-up for the Downtown Duluth Holiday Window Contest, and so as part of their prize, I got to do a summer window for them. did the concept and did the installation. And Bell Bank just supports the community and the families that they're involved with. And so we thought it was a great idea to support Grandma's Marathon weekend as they came into town and just get that excitement rolling, as it always is.
What makes for, you know, I'm not a business owner, but obviously I'm a consumer.
Yeah.
So what makes for an effective storefront? What really, in your experience, attracts people to enter a store?
Yeah, I usually say there's 3 things that really makes a business stand out. When you have a customer walk by your window, they should know what you sell, who you are as a brand or a business, and then also why they should come in. So those are the 3 I usually try to have businesses hit on. And then hopefully from there, there's other things you can do to even look better.
Gotcha. And then I guess on the flip side of that, what are maybe some mistakes that you've been helping businesses get through when it comes to maybe they're not doing exactly the most effective marketing when it comes to their storefront?
I think a huge thing is not making the product the star. You're here as a business to sell, right? You want to sell as much as you can. You want to get business. You want people to come in, loyal customers. And a great way to do that is provide a memorable experience or something that really, you know, they just stop and have to see. And so that's something that I think a lot of companies forget is like, you can do a cool display, but don't forget the product that you're trying to sell.
The reason that people will be coming in to buy.
Yep.
It's also, Stephanie, it's super cool to see people get excited about things. I can tell when you're talking about this work that you get excited about it.
Yes.
It has to be cool to get done with your work and your projects, and then hopefully see those business owners feel equally as excited about this effort that you all put in together.
Yes, and I think it's a great collaboration process of knowing, do they want, you know, more of a display? Do they want more of a meaningful message? Like, what do they like to do? I love creating these like custom props and that really stand out, but also just doing displays is great. So there's different ways you can go about it.
Yeah, certainly. Well, Stephanie Wedlin with Stephanie Wedlin Creative. Stephanie, thank you for being here with us today.
Yes.
Certainly a lot of fun learning about all that you do and the amazing work here at Bell Bank downtown. If you'd like to stop by Bell Bank, check it out. It's in downtown Duluth. You can also find more information about Stephanie Wedlin at stephaniewedlincreative.com. You can also find her work on Instagram as well. We'll talk about tomorrow's show when we come back after the break. Coming up tomorrow here on Northern Life, the story started as a text on our Northern Life text line. It was from, as she calls herself, the pontoon truck lady. So for this week's Blindfold, we are hopping on said pontoon truck right here in Canal Park, taking it for a spin around downtown Duluth.
As you saw in that video there, I felt like a queen on board this thing with my queen wave.
Yes, it's a never-ending parade. It's awesome.
I understand why people in like their F-150s and those, and Hunter, probably your pickup truck, where you feel like on top of everyone else.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a cool feeling.
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah.
You feel like you're riding a magic carpet or something like that.
Seriously.
Kind of cool.
Yeah, very neat. Before we go today, Northern News Now is once again seeking blood donors as we partner with Memorial Blood Centers for another blood drive. If you're catching us at 12:30 today, it's still going on, and it will be until 7 p.m. tonight. That's over at Pure B Resorts Ballroom in Duluth. If you can't make it today, you can stop by between 9 and 5 tomorrow. All the donations will benefit fellow Northlanders. So really good cause, and we're getting close to reaching our goal of 300 donors.
Wow.
So if you can help us do it, we'd love to see you down at Pure B.
Yeah, it's always cool to see the amount of people that come out for these sort of things. And you want to hang out with me too, I'll be there at noon tomorrow, so it'll be a lot of fun. Yes.
Good stuff. All the reasons to come out and donate.
Yep.
Well, thanks for joining us so much. Thanks so much for joining us. We love you.
We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your Monday.
Find some time to throw a line, or just head outside to unwind. That's the life in the great North Woods. Hike or bike, whatever you like. Get out in the day, enjoy the night. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, this is Northern Life.